Hi, I'm Becca and welcome to my channel. Today I want to show you some basic quilling shapes. I've done a video on this before, but it was quite a long while ago, so I thought I'd do a new one and put them all onto a card so that you can either take a screenshot or make your own if you wish. So basically I've got 18 different shapes here, and they're all different variants of two basic shapes: a tight coil and an open coil. So I'll show you how to make these ones, and then I've already made some up so you don't have to watch me twiddling them all, and I'll just show you what you need to do to get the rest of these shapes. So I'm just using these 3mm quilling strips. Now, depending on how long your strips are and how big you need the shape to be will depend on how many strips you need to use. I'm just using one because I'm not needing these for any project at all. I find it easy to tighten the quilling strip up if I press it against my finger, if you can see, and then all the other one there, it just stops it from unravelling a little bit more than if you didn't. Right, that's it, fully tight on. Now hold it tight and then just I push it off with my nail off the quilling tool, and then I just use PVA, just a tiny little dot on the end. I don't know if you can see that very well, but you don't need a lot at all. And then just wrap it around the shape. Sorry, that's the dog walking around me, I apologise. Okay, and then to just flatten it out, push it down and then push on the top of it, and then you've got a perfect little tight coil. So the next one is an open coil, which is basically the same, but you let it unravel a little bit. So again, hold on tight to your strip. Just makes it stay how you want it to go. It's teaching the paper to go in the new position you want it to go in. Sorry about that, I've got a frog in my throat. Okay, so again, do the same. Just hold it tight and then push it off. Now, don't worry that even if it all unravels all together, you can just wind it back up. It's just a piece of paper, but just loosen your grip just a little bit at a time. And then like that. And then if you want it more open, let it go more. And then again, just a tiny little dot of glue. You really don't need a lot to do with these. And then just push it on. And I like to roll it in my fingers just to make sure that it stays in the circle. Oh, and I think the glue's come off. So you can always add more glue just to can't take it away, and sometimes you can get in a very big sticky mess if you put way too much on. There we go. So those are the two basic shapes: a tight coil and an open coil. So all the other shapes that I'm going to show you how to do now are made from these basic shapes. So I'll put these ones down over here. So I've got them in order as to what I could remember them when I was making this card, but like I said, the square and the rectangle and the curved square, they can go together if you're making your own, or like teardrops and all the different types of teardrops. It was just, this was what I thought of when I was prepping for the video. So the next shape on the list is the teardrop. So I'm going to take this off here so it's not putting you off when I'm showing you. So like I say, I've got my open coil made, and then all you need to do with this one is just pinch it at the top. That's all you need to do. So that's another really easy shape to make. And then the next one, so I'm just trying to pick up one of my coils, and then is the bended teardrop. So as the name suggests, it's basically the same thing but bended, or bent, sorry, bended's a word. Pinch it at the top and then just push it like this, push your top piece to the side. And then you've got your bended teardrop. So it's just pushed to one side. And that's that one. Now there's a curled teardrop, which I did down at the bottom of the page, which I should have done when I was doing this one, but it's basically the same. So pinch it at the top and make the teardrop, okay? And then I like to use a pair of tweezers and just grip at the top, and rather than just bending it like we've done before, you curl it. You could also use a pokey tool to wrap it around or something like that. And that's just more curled than the last one. So just show you them both together. See, so it's basically the same shape, but one's just more curled at the top. So easy enough. Right, the next one is the eye or the marquise. So you just need your basic coil again. Now instead of just pinching at one end of the coil, pinch at both ends. Oop. Like this. And then you've got your eye or marquise, or it could also be called a leaf. So depending on what book or anything I was looking in, the different names for all of them, but these are just what I call them. So then the next one would be a bended leaf. So again, get your coil. It's a bit difficult with these longer nails being able to do these quilling things, but we'll get them done. Right, so you've got your eye or your basic leaf shape, and then you just need to get both sides within your fingertips and twist. And that's basically your bended leaf. Okay. And right, the next one that we're going to do is a triangle. So again, basic coil, and pinch into your teardrop, and then you want to make two more points. So again, just pinch a bit further down, and then pinch at the top, and then sort of just straighten it out into the triangular shape that you want. Sorry if I keep going off camera, I'm getting used to putting it up to the screen. Right, so then the next one that you could probably do from that is, which one shall we go for? We'll go for the arrowhead. Right, so the arrowhead is basically that, but it's just bent at the bottom a little bit. So we do exactly the same. Pinch your 3 points, and then push up at the bottom and pinch. Then obviously, depending on how pointy you want the arrowhead shape, depends on, you know, how much you pinch at it, but that's an arrowhead, or a dart, that's the other name that I've seen it called. Right, next one, shark fin. I think we'll go for this one. So this is very similar to a regular triangle, but it's more squeezed in the middle. So again, put your 3 points in for your triangle. Okay. So, and then a shark fin, whoop, like little springs, is just basically pinching in the middle. So the bottom sort of stays rounded, and then and you pinch it more at the top. Again, depending on how big you want the shape, depends on, you know, how many strips you need to use or the shape that it will turn out at. But that's basically the same thing. So that's that one. shall we do next? Oh, we'll go on to the square ones. Right, so your basic square, it needs 4 points. I like to just put a finger at each side of it to sort of start off the square. Just push a little bit. And then I like to go around each of the points and just sort of pinch at them a little bit more, make them more defined. There we go. And then again, just push it from each side. So you've got your basic square. So the next one, would say, is a curved square. So it's exactly the same. Don't know how well you can actually see me from there. Right, so exactly the same, but this one you don't need to make sure that the sides are as straight as they were before. You're basically just pushing them inward. Okay, got that. Then just, I like to use my nails to do it. Just push them in. Can take a bit of fiddling around with these ones, but it's worth it in the end. Okay. Oop. So that's your bended square. The one on my card's a little bit more square-like, but that's basically the idea. You're basically making the square, but just pushing the sides in. That's all the difference is. So, depending on what project you're wanting them for is obviously dependent on what shapes you go for. So the next one I would say is a diamond. So again, we need to do our basic square, but then we need to decide which point we want to make the the longer corner of it. So I'm going for this one, so I'm pinching that one quite narrow. And then we'll go at the other end, just pinch at the top and push down a little. And then that will give you the points to finish off the diamond at the sides. Apologies once again if you can hear my snoring pets. I've got a cat and a dog at it this time. So I don't know whether if you'll be able to hear it or not, but as quiet as the house goes is when I'm filming. There you go. So again, you can fiddle with them until you've got them to the exact shape that you want them, but that's basically a diamond. You don't have to make it longer like that at the bottom. You can do exactly the same, so it's basically the square but squished. That's all I can really say for that one. In fact, I'll show you that with the... So if you were just doing it with the same side, all the same sides, just squish it a little bit more. And then it's more like a pointed marquise sort of shape when you do it like that. So again, it just really just depends on what you're needing for whatever project you're doing. So yeah, so that's just your diamond if you were just making all the sides the same. Right, what's next? Right, so let's do a semicircle. So this one's really easy. So again, your coil, you're just pushing it down, and you just need 2 points opposite to each other. So obviously the bottom of your semicircle needs to be curved or straight, the top needs to be arched. So I've just pinched at either side, made sure that the top is domed and the bottom is relatively straight, and that's your semicircle. And the next one is a bended semicircle, so exactly the same. So pinch at either end, and then you're just pushing it up. from the bottom. So it looks a bit like a rounded arrowhead, because you've not pinched at the top like you do with an arrowhead. You're just bending it up more at the bottom. Sorry, I think I might have been off camera then, so I do apologise, but that's basically a bended semicircle. And then, what have we not got? Right, and there's a ghost. That's the other one. This is a new one that I've relatively learnt about when I was just looking up all the names. So again, it's a bit like the bended semicircle, but it's not as defined at the bottom, I'd say. So again, just make 2 little pinches, not too far apart for this one, and then like that, and then just push a little bit. So it's just different stages of the same shape, really. Okay, and that's the ghost. I've never heard it called that before, but I thought I'd put it in because I thought it was funny. Right, what have we missed off? I've got my diagram in front of me so I don't forget anything. Rectangle. I've not done rectangle. Right, so rectangle. Obviously, your sides need to be longer than the other ones. So if you just squash it from the top a little bit and then just pinch at the ends, this will give you a rough idea where to put your defined corner, you know, when you're pinching it. Because if you don't get it exactly right, it's just a piece of paper at the end of the day. It's nothing to worry about. When I first started doing quilling strips, the amount of wasted quilling strips I went through were unbelievable. So there, and then that's your rectangle. How well you can see it. So, like I said, just 2 sides just need to be a bit longer than the other ones. So it's basically the same as your square, just a little bit elongated. And then the last one is called the Tulip. This is another one that I've not really used before. But it looks a bit like, it's got like 3 points on it. Well, what a tulip looks like. So when I did it, I sort of just pinched at one end and then the other. So a bit like when you're doing the semicircle, but then you're needing to put another one in the middle. I'm trying to remember how it. If you just push it up a little bit from below and then push these down into where you've already done, and then you end up with 3 little points like that. So you could probably do a more looser coil when you're doing this one, just so that it gives you a bit more finger space, really. But you might be able to deal with the smaller pieces than I can. I've not got the steadiest of hands, but that one's a tulip. So if you just wanted to do some really basic quilling, you can make the tulips and then just use some straight pieces for some stems and some leaves, and just make a nice little arrangement on a card with just those little tulip shapes. So I hope that's helped. Like I say, I'll show you the card where I've got them all on here. If you want to make yourself one of these, then you've got it as a reference, or just take a screenshot of this and then you've got it. These shapes are a little bit more better produced than when I was prepping them, rather than when I'm on camera, because I always get a little bit nervous. Don't know why, but I've just got these on here, and I'll be keeping these now just for future reference, because like there's the 2 shapes that I didn't know about and have been quilling for at least 5 years, I think. And if I come across any other shapes, I'll do another video. So if you've got any questions, don't hesitate to ask me in the comments. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!